has not touched the ball as a small forward. So 2 improving areas in the forward line for Brisbane Lions, other than Jonathan Brown, who's been fairly dominant.
Well, the Dockers won here last year, and it was the second quarter where they got to move on. Can they do it here? Polkinghorne, kick was smothered. Black, so good in confined spaces.
Oh, that's a good
strong mark. Not paid for Buick.
Well,
Beams, he'll get a free kick.
Well,
we got a new crowd favourite coming up at the Gabba.
I think so. He's playing across half forward, and this will come up for a disposal number 8. He's been a very good player today. I think he only got the call up this morning. There's Buick, and
close, didn't hold it.
Very close, but he's getting to the bottom of the packs, getting his hand on the ball. Is Clay Beams, and this is shot at goal. Number what one's that?
Number 4, I think.
Number 4. Yeah, he's had 1-1 and a miss.
He's tough too, no doubt about that.
Hasn't got any spots left on those arms, I would have thought.
I think he's beating his brother at the moment in the tattoo stakes.
But importantly for the Lions, it starts the momentum, or rests it back at the start of this second quarter. His first kick of goal is a beauty. No problem with that. He's got 2 goals.
Gave the football up for a few years and only been back in action. I think once he saw Dane get drafted and go down to Collingwood, decided this doesn't look like a bad caper, running out in front of 70,000 at the MCG from a big brother, so I might do the same thing. Went and started playing some local football, then onto the rookie list with the Brisbane Lions, elevated this year to the main list, and sees himself a late call up for round 1 to replace Luke Power. He's got a couple of goals.
So Power goes out. The late inclusion, Clay Beams,
comes in.
He's been good.
He's been extremely good. He's floating across half forward and pushes up into the midfield. Got a good motor, kicks the ball well, as we've seen.
Sandilands won the knock, but it fell for Rich, who just held his kick, got it over to Lester. Sorry, that's O'Brien, Jesse O'Brien. He goes into the pocket looking for Clark.
Well, Jesse will learn from that, because that is a really ineffectual kick going that wide. He had Rich inside for a quick handball, and even then a short kick. He was running into space.
Good work from Clark.
Got rid of Sandilands, threw it on the boot. Now it falls for Hill. Gets good distance on the right boot. Van Berlo trying to get rid of Staker in that marking contest. Kept his feet, Staker. That was the key there. Kept his feet. Drills it in. Banfield just can't get into the game, as I mentioned just before quarter time. Pavlich hands off to McPhee. It's a clever handball. McPhee's into a bit of space. Kicks in the Bradley direction. Merritt with the punch, but it went over the back, but he recovers quickly.
He's got a different body this year, Matty.
He just went a bit early there, sure. He didn't want to check that
that's
kick.
all right. That's okay.
His body still looks good.
Wobbled kick forward.
Oh, intelligent play.
It was, wasn't it, Rich? And he got up again to get it back. Terrific stuff. Brown nudged out of it. Boundary throw. And we're seeing some intelligent footy tonight so far. Just little uses of the hands and body just to put teammates into better positions.
Just a tap there from Rich, and good work to get back on his feet and stay in the contest. Just slightly overcooked the ball to Jonathan Brown.
Pavlich went without it. Brown is there, bursting through. Rains was trying to second effort. He might get it back. It's picked up by Jesse O'Brien. Oh, well, he's made amends. Sure, he's kicked a goal.
Well, Jesse, the good thing about it, he didn't have time to think. Last time he marked the ball, he had a lot of time to think with the ball, and I thought he made a wrong mistake. But, gee, the young players have been fantastic. We've talked about Beans, but O'Brien here, just the awareness, knows what's around him, and a very good snap in a tight condition. And, look, you've got to know where the goals are. They don't move, they're in concrete, so at least you've got to have an awareness, and he finished off beautifully then, so well done. Youngsters are leading the way.
Well, can you believe it? Jesse O'Brien has just kicked his first goal in league footy, so everybody's joining the party. But Clay Beams has already done that, but Lee, he's gone to the bench.
Yeah, he just hobbled off. He's in the getting some treatment now from the physios on a left hip. So it was in that little free kick that he got and shot at goal.
O'Brien's goal has given Brisbane a bit of space here. They're up by 3 goals now. Brown went without it. McFarlane didn't.
Put him under pressure, his teammate.
It was a bit of a hospital handball, and good swarming here by the Lions, trying to get possession back. Persistence though. Banfield to Black, got a player outside, decides to use him. Another player, Leicester. Gee.
Well, great build-up. Lions are getting, as you said, they're swarming the contest. They're getting plenty of numbers to each contest. They're beating the Fremantle Dockers to the ball at the moment. And Simon Black is doing some very nice work in close and should have set up another goal on that occasion. Leicester, who's probably been the surprise packet of the pre-season for the Brisbane Lions, he's been getting involved as well. Just missed that opportunity, though.
Would have been his first goal in league footy. Is there anyone left?
I'm looking down the list.
There's Clay Beams just getting some treatment there from the doctor, and this is the collision.
Yeah,
McFarlane's come in hard there from on the side and hit that left hip, and they can hang around for plenty of time, number of weeks.
Pavlich working 3-4 efforts there to finally get it out towards Sandilands. Tapped it back.
Brisbane numbers around the ball, though.
Yeah, Black. They just held off him there. In the Clark direction. He might end up with it here. Bad error, ball over the back again. Banfield got the fumbles. Hill cutting through with hands. Johnson, long.
It's a great kick.
It's in the path of Walters. Hanley with him. One-on-one footy. Walters drags it back in.
He's gone.
In trouble.
That doesn't come out. He got it out somehow.
Tackle from McGrath. Solid work on Palmer.
Oh, what a great one-on-one then. Walters and Hanley, fantastic play there to hold that ball in under enormous pressure.
Walters looked like he was in trouble when he dragged it in, but made an effort to get it out.
McPhee got a call out the back, and it was Walters. Hanley just dumps him. Holding the ball advantage, played Hanley on top of Walters at the moment. And the kick is wide and it's out of bounds.
Probably need a head count, I reckon, the Fremantle Dockers. The Brisbane Lions just, at every stoppage, their ability to get to the contest is making it near impossible for the Fremantle Dockers to get any clean possession.
Tackle from Ballantyne on Stiller. Can't get it out.
And Pavlich has had the 7 disposals, but just he's got no space at the moment.
Most of those have been in tight, haven't they?
Redden's running with him, as we see there.
Here he is.
And Redden's right on him.
But Pavlich got it free with a handball, but cutting it off for Brisbane was Rockcliffe.
Yeah, good kick.
Big leap from Polkinghorne, went without it. Now Hill is dangerous, but he's forced to go back to Broughton. Wider. He's got lower. Palmer's in the pocket with Bradley.
Oh, that's
downfield.
We'd have to have a look at that. I reckon that was in the genuine time when he kicked the ball. That contact was made. Now, if it's high, maybe he's given it for being high.
Yeah, it's high.
Not the lateness of it.
Just 2 or 3 metres too far for Palmer.
Kicks in the Pavlich direction. 2-on-1 the spoil. Now the loose ball.
Gee, that's...
Buick, lower, clever handball back to Broughton. He just misses his target, but McPhee can run onto it. Now wider, he's got Pitt, who takes it now. Thought about going back to Ballantyne, throws it onto the boot. Chance here for the Dockers. Main lurking. Adcock able to see it over.
In this situation, in general play, the Brisbane Lions look as though they're dropping back into a defensive zone. So they just had a big zone in place. Makes it very difficult, one, to identify a spare player for the Fremantle Dockers, but 2, to hit him if you do find him.
Ballantyne off the ground. He almost kicked a goal.
I was just going to say that you just don't want a cheap goal here for Brisbane. They coughed it up at the last minute of the first quarter.
But just
There's still a fair bit to go in this quarter, but just no free kick, a cheap free kick or something like that. Got to avoid it.
Because just at the moment, it looks like the only way Fremantle's going to get a goal is one of those scrappy ones. They don't look clean going inside 50 at the moment.
Well, they might be able to work one out here with some pressure. Wonderful pressure. Palmer took too long. Black diving in. Ball spills out. Buick too slow. Stiller wants the boundary line. Johnson there. It's an opportunity gone begging for the Dockers.
That is getting out stakes there. That's that cheap goal I was just talking about. Just play a straight bat for the next 5. You're on top. And, gee, Palmer, just lack of awareness of what was behind him.
Johnson from the clearance to Pavlich.
That's dropped the ball.
Again, the defensive pressure of the Lions is right up there, and they're being pushed back. Continually pushed back. So I think Michael Voss will be very happy with that aspect of the game just at the moment. Fremantle Dockers need to maintain possession, probably control the tempo of the game just for 4 or 5 minutes.
Lions trying to free someone up with a switch. Decide to go down the middle to McGrath. He's at his best when he's cutting through the centre. Lester.
Good kick.
Yeah, measured kick out in front so we can keep going, O'Brien, but he didn't.
Oh, that's on the man. Off the ball to Jonathan Brown. Should have been a free kick against McFarlane.
Here's Rockcliffe just outside his range.
Very hard to pick off a play now.
Go to the top of the square. You don't have to kick to Jonathan Brown every minute.
No, Rains can get home or kick it out of bounds on the full, but he got it to within 50 and Rains could get home from 50. So
always had a problem with Andrew Rains, just his finishing skills. So one thing, he works hard, he's a very fit player. Just needs to be, you know, have a bit more efficiency by foot.
I don't know whether it's the right term. He's a very attractive kick. He looks like he's a good kick.
That's a good point.
Sandon's kept it in.
I looked like I was a shocking kick, and I was.
Copybook tackle from John Crowley.
Yeah, we'll leave
Tony
that one
Shaw.
alone.
That's why you handball.
Gets in the confession box, not the commentary box.
Yeah, good tackle from Rich.
Sandilands starting to dominate the knocks here, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just that was down to Pavlich. He didn't have an opponent at that stage, which is about the first time for the game so far.
Now it falls back out to Fife, and away go the Dockers here. Lower. Going to back himself to outrun Leuenberger. The kick, though, to Walters. McGrath, Patful there. Chance here, Main. But again, the tackling for the Brisbane Lions is very good. Still alive, though. Bradley and McGrath. Bradley just trying to trap it.
Hit your feet.
Rains.
Bowled him.
Absolutely bowled him, didn't he?
It was very similar to the grand final.
Rockcliffe getting the doosra on him.
Yeah, just went straight through me. Eamon Buchanan, the substitute, just limbering up a little. And Clay Beams back on the ground. So just having a look how Clay Beams goes before half-time.
Breaking away from the contest was Pavlich. He got the handball, but it was enough chase there by Banfield to force it wide. But what we're seeing now is that basically Sandilands is just going, boys, I've got control of the knocks, and they're starting to win some clearances.
Look, it's a great chase, though. You can nearly score from outside there, Pavlich, without pressure. I think Clay Beams might have one of those hip pointers, boy. You know, when you get the dots on your hip, and a lot of people, our listeners won't know viewers won't know what's going on, but it's get these dots on your hip with a bone. You compress the flesh on the bone, it hurts. Can be with you for weeks.
Oh, it's a shocking injury, and you can't protect it, no matter what you put on there. So he may be a fair bit of discomfort for a few weeks.
Dockers by inching closer. They're now down to 17 points, the margin, and they're pushing forward to try and get another goal here. McPhee tumbles it forward. First back for the Lions is Redden. And they're not out of... Well, we've got to push, so lucky there.
Gee, it's happened in both quarters, hasn't it? Looks like Fremantle lifted in the second half of the quarter. Now, Brisbane Lions, we saw them, as we say, cough up that cheap goal late. Just got to keep control now. Maybe take the edge off the game by 5 minutes and play possession footy.
We've been going for almost 14 minutes. We've only had the one goal.
Yeah.
And the last 5 minutes has been in this part of the ground for the Fremantle Dockers.
Yep.
So they're holding the ball in. This aspect has improved.
They're going to get another chance here because they've kicked it straight to Sandilands.
As you said in the first quarter, if you just bomb the ball in enough times, you're going to put pressure on the defence.
That's a good take from Merritt.
But you don't bomb the ball in when you've got big defenders that are very comfortable at that aspect of the game.
Switches on here. They've got plenty of players behind the ball if they look outside.
Rockcliffe just wins possessions. And he's using Rains.
Tempo football here. Bit of tempo football. Just don't want to have a shot by foot.
All dangerous now. Players covered.
Well, that's not a good kick. That's all Fremantle, and Bradley took it easy.
It's an attractive kick, though.
Oh, well, what do you mean by an attractive kick? You've got to be efficient. I don't care if you kick it with your knee.
Bradley. Fife coming in. Read it well.
Well, there's a mark inside 50, so that is very good news for the Fremantle Dockers. They've been peppering the inside 50 area, but to get an effective disposal, to hit a target in this part of the ground has been difficult. Fife, one of the most talented kids that's coming through the Fremantle Dockers outfit.
That was Andrew Range. You've got to keep possession. He put pressure on himself by playing on, then had to kick the ball quick.
Kicked 14 goals last season in his 18 games. That's not going to be a goal. And the spoil from Patfield. They deserve a goal, Fremantle. They're really pressing, aren't they?
Well, they do. They don't want to concede one at the other end now. It's really going to hurt. But as you said, with Rains, he identified there was a switch on, but everyone in the stadium knew he was going to go, and his teammates were covered in the end.
Fife, another chance. Palmer got a player out wide.
Good kick.
And spotted him.
Just getting a few loose players around the contest now.
Well, the thing about Range is, and this is for all the youngsters, is that you can look inside. You don't have to move off the line.
No.
Don't commit. Then if you want to go, you have to go late, or you go kick up the line. But then he committed, put the pressure on himself, had to kick the ball high and long, which all good zoning sides love to play off the wing.
Well, we saw Lower attempt his first goal and miss. So from about 47 metres out, I reckon he'll get one. He's celebrated already. He's off the ground, but he's got his first goal in the AFL.
Well, you knew he kicked that one because as soon as it left the boot, he turned and charged for the interchange bench, which is always a massive sign you've kicked the goal. So Nick Lower got a second chance at AFL football after a stint with Norwood, and has come back in, and he's been a very good player. And this was a very nice kick around the body from Palmer. Identified that Lower was in some space. They haven't been able to take marks inside the 50-metre arc, and just to hit up a target, convert the goal, will be great for the confidence.
Dockers get their first for the quarter. Margin back to 11 points. Dylan Robinson in the green, a substitute for Fremantle. So Black already with 13 disposals on top of the list for the Lions. This will be number 14.
And Clay Beams, that was at the top of the list, hasn't had a possession since that injury.
Such a pity because he was just dynamic, wasn't he?
Yeah. So look, there may be a change at half-time.
Leicester kept it in.
The ball.
Yep. It gets stiller. So here go Fremantle again.
Yeah, well, this is the time now where Brisbane Lions have to face this pressure. Be able to cope with it. 8 minutes to go in the quarter.
Down the line. Might be a bit tight to the line, actually. Still in play.
Position.
Lower came back onto the ground. Pavlich, chance Fremantle. Johnson running hard. Staker with him. Johnson in position. Everybody goes to ground. And the ball goes through for a point.
Unlucky bounce, twofold for the Fremantle Dockers. One that it bounced slightly right to go through the behinds and didn't sit up, so they had another opportunity.
Oh, good kick. Daniel Merritt out low.
He's been at your house all summer, Tony.
He has. We've been at pre-season, working hard.
Kick from Rich. Play on over the back. And Duffield first to it, but the line beats him. Seen a lot of balls go over the back, haven't we?
Yeah.
With contest.
Well, on that occasion, the kick was just a little bit strong for Jonathan Brown, and there was some good defence work just to keep him under the ball.
Clark won it from the ruck, sends it in high. Chance here. Buick round the corner. That's not a bad goal.
Exciting young player, Rowan Buick, out of WA. Has got his chance as a mature age recruit at 21. Although 21 doesn't seem that mature to us, Jory. But he's a very talented player. Got some genuine pace around the packs and across the half-forward line, and he will add plenty to this side over the course of the season.
That's his first goal.
Hey, that's his.
There it is.
Yeah. Surely there's none left now.
Well, there's plenty of young blokes out there.
Well, he becomes the 5th player tonight to kick his first goal, and Tony, there's only one left.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was good poise, though, wasn't it? He knew where the goals were, so some great signs. Gee, they needed that because, again, they've dominated the 2/3 of the quarter, as they did in the first, and it looked like Fremantle were getting some control. Sandilands has had a spell for 5 minutes, so dangerous time here for Brisbane Lions, just for the scoreboard impact. 16 points. Go into half-time. I think you've done a good job up to half-time, but if they get another goal, maybe some of that work's been wasted.
Not a big crowd here tonight, but they're starting to find their voice. And Leuenberger's back in the middle because Sandilands is there. Sandilands pushing it down, waiting for someone to run onto it. Rich got there first and hit it solidly, but couldn't get free. Pavlich, little give off to Sandilands. Away they go again. Palmer has some time. Wobbles it forward, though, not his best kick. Goalkeeper effort from Merritt, and he's up and about.
Good second effort as well to come over and add the block, and he's going to play deliberate, is he? No.
Oh. Gee, Merritt, he's just... He's a different player to last year.
Well, he's athletic. He had problems with hamstrings last year, I think, and also groins a bit later. So, no, he looks athletic, doesn't he? His recovery's a lot better. That's the level he has to play. He's a senior player in this group now.
That was pretty close for Jed Adcock because the umpires came around at the start of the season and they'll be looking very closely at those sort of decisions. Pitt spotted Ballantyne. Chance for Walters. Spins out of trouble. He's dangerous, Sonny Walters. And that's what he does.
He's looked dangerous when the ball's gone to him. He hasn't always taken possession, but Walters looks like a very dangerous, skillful forward pocket crummer, and that is a handy goal. Handy reply to the Fremantle Dockers. Just switched around onto the left boot and just slogged it through. So I think plenty to like about this contest. Another goal for the Fremantle Dockers before half-time. Still plenty of time, 6.5 minutes to go, but Michael Walters has got his first goal for the night.
Margin is back to 10 points after that very handy individual effort from Walters.
Sandilands' impact. I think you called it 5 minutes into this quarter, but his clearance work. He followed up after getting a handball from Pavlich, so he's the man at the moment who's giving him first chance at it.
He won that knock, and Palmer's trying to hold it in for Fremantle so he can have another go.
He doesn't get any smaller, does he, as the game goes on? Exactly. There was a couple of occasions he had the chance in the first quarter to take clean marks. Dropped the ball, but he's building into some confidence now.
I reckon I could sleep in one of his shoes. No doubt.
Monstrous slippers, aren't they?
Well, had a lot of time there, Pavlich, and actually put it on the ground, but he got the handball away. Walters stealing it. High tackle against Stiller. And Fremantle. Some enthusiasm here. The switch of play. Bradley has the height. The ball is spoiled. Leicester did well to get it out. Now, Polkinghorn just held onto it, got it over to Buick on the left boot, measured the pass. Clark and Grover. Numbers for Freo, though. Broughton goes back. Clark wrapped him up.
Holding off the ball.
Off the ball, Fremantle kick.
It's from the umpire in the left of screen in the forward 50 for the Fremantle Dockers.
He actually paid it as a high to Broughton, boys. He called it from downfield.
He's called it from 100 metres away. The right decision.
Pavlich starting to have an influence as well. He's working off of Sandilands now. He kicks it towards Hill. And him and Stiller both miss it. Lower. Adcock with him. Stiller. Clean pickup. Found himself in a bit of space. That's a clever kick.
Yeah, he saw Clay Beams.
He's not moving well at all, Beams.
He's done well in the situation, though.
You'll get it back here, though.
He got it back. This will test him out. Just lays it off. Reading it well. O'Brien's kick is very good, right to the square. Clark couldn't take it. Grover half a fumble.
That's a throw.
And that's out of bounds.
So some useful work from Clay Beams, but yeah, he does appear to be sore. He was in a contest about 30 seconds before that as well, and very slow getting off the ground.
Sandilands looking for someone to be just at his feet to take it. Umpire giving plenty of time to get this out.
I don't know whether going back towards goal is a problem there. You've just Sandilands. I'd rather go to the boundary line as deep as you can. Is this? Nearly. If you just scoop that a little bit more, that was a throw.
Rich can't get anywhere there. Plenty of players around the ball.
Well, he probably thinks by keeping it in there, at least you're going to have a tackle straight away. Hopefully, you can get a quick boot on it. But, gee, it's there he goes now. Third one up.
Rockcliffe played for the free kick. Umpire didn't have anything to do with it.
Should be yellow carded for that.
And Ballantyne is away. He's got supreme pace. Just lost his feet, otherwise he would have kept going. Adcock, Simon Black spun out of it, but Lower read it. He might win a free kick here, Lower.
He's gone here. He followed it in.
Actually deserved the free kick, I think, Nick Lower. There's a bit of high contact.
Yep.
Gee, that's tough, isn't it?
It is a tough one.
And that was on the blind side of the umpire.
Yeah.
So how did he know that the ball was still underneath there? You pull it in, you're going to pay a price.
What about the pick up Simon Black?
I thought for a minute he was going to actually just handball it between his legs. Just a measured pass from Redden to Stiller. Just biding their time. Good zone, or good setup here from the Dockers.
Kepler Bradley's the loose man in defence for Fremantle.
Yeah, Brisbane are going to have to think their way through this. McGrath, well, his kick's not a good one, but Merritt's got plenty of time. Now, Buick has found some space.
Oh.
He's missed the target by a mile. Buick, 5, punches it out.
Did he punch it out to the crowd, or...?
Well, it was deliberate.
That new interpretation, I thought that might have been close.
It was a contest.
Just starting slow, that interpretation. early days. Rich, caught.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, clever work. Staker trying to release Stiller. 53 metres out, decides to pull it short instead of going for goal. He wants Mitch Clark. He's trying to get around Grover. Grover stayed with him. Good tackle. Yeah, he's been around Anthony Grover.
Hard night at the office when you're playing against Anthony Grover.
Yeah.
He's often given away a bit of size to the opponents over the years, but a very experienced player these days. Gave no space to Mitch Clark.
Hill first to it, and we'll go again. We're inside the last 3 minutes of this first half. Lions led by 6 at quarter time. They've got it to a 10-point margin. But noticeably, Jonathan Brown is not in the game at all at the moment after kicking 2 in the first quarter. O'Brien. Palmer was good.
Possession in this quarter.
Yeah. Lower. Pavlich punching forward.
Pavlich.
Yep. And Ballantyne doesn't mind to take him on. Stiller couldn't get with him. Ballantyne's kick. It's 2-on-1 again. Merritt reading it, but no, he got up quick.
Ended up that was a win for the Fremantle Dockers. They were outnumbered 2-1. So get the ball over the line, set up for a forward 50 stoppage. And Aaron Sandilands hasn't got the legs to get down there in time. Jonathan Brown coming off the pine for the last few minutes of the quarter.
Matthew Pavlich, the captain's leading from the front, 15 possessions so far.
Holding. Oh, no.
Push Leuenberger free kick. Yeah, Pavlich has now had the ball the most on the footy field. 16 disposals, and a lot of them hard work. Hanley wants Clark. Again, no room for him to move against Grover. What will Polkinghorne do? He'll get a free kick. Advantage, and he's caught. No, he gave him a bit of extra time. Beams can't go. He can trap it, though, and give it off. Flicked out the back. Numbers for Brisbane. Redden caught. Good wonderful tackle by Palmer. Goal-saving tackle in effect. And Burlow, not sure. Grover.
Need to be patient here, and they're not.
No, just kicked it straight up in the air.
That's a kick. Get it out of my area and take the pressure off.
They're making it back here.
And look at this. They've done well.
They win a free kick, the Dockers.
They have done very well.
Hanley drops the mark. It's going to cost them. Walters, perfect kick. Main will stop. No, he won't. He moves on. Umpire's called it back. No.
Well, that first kick to the midfield wasn't a great option because the Brisbane Lions had 3 players there, no Fremantle Dockers, but they followed up, and after a little mistake, they've created a goal here. And just before half-time, once again, they've closed the gap on the Brisbane Lions, and as we saw in the first quarter.
We always say that sometimes defenders try to create something and put themselves under pressure. Anthony Grover said, hey, boys, this is out of my area. You can do what you do down the ground.
It's your responsibility. But it was a floater.
And it worked.
It was a floater, but Hanley couldn't quite get a handle on it. Main to tidy up for the Dockers and get them within 1 kick. Never in doubt.
Now, the game's going through a number of different stages. The Dockers have have a look at Palmer's tackle here, and that was a goal-saving tackle. Great chase and tackle. The Brisbane Lions have certainly been working hard. They've had the last 3 or 4 minutes up in their forward 50, but the ability of Fremantle to get out of their defensive half now and push it forward is what has worked for them in their last few attacks at goal.
Main, one of 6 individual goal kickers now for Fremantle. And we've got a minute to go in this first half.
We spoke pre-game about their spread of goal kickers was going to be a real key, and they've been able to do that. Haven't been relying on Pavlich up forward. He's been right up there. 6 goal kickers, very important factor for the Fremantle Dockers.
Little 1-2 between Black and between Leuenberger. Black to Brown, colourful football.
Well, you just wonder, we talked about the, a warrior going to war like this bloke's done so many years, year in, year out. And Simon Black is just an architect. That was sensational on his non-preferred, the vision, and just the execution was just brilliant to Jonathan Brown.
Yeah, 17 disposals for Black. You would suggest most of those have been very effective. And an important one, lace out to Jonathan Brown.
Well, he's hit 2 perfectly so far. That's a wonderful shot of what's ahead of him, and he's hit that one nicely. He is hitting them well. He's got the driver working. He's got 3.
Tell you what, Alistair, like, is there a player who you would think, everybody said Tony Lockett, Jason Dunstall, a fit player? Jonathan Brown's as good a set shot kick that I have seen in the game.
Oh, when he's on, yeah.
And fit to the groinstone impact.
And from a distance as well. Yeah, he can hit him from 55. When his body's right, he's a very, very good kick for goal. Such a dominating player. Injuries have been and will be a factor for the remainder of his career, I'm sure.
So we touched on the fact that he was quiet, pops back out on the ground, gets his 3rd goal, and a timely one for his team, because that should see them go to the break with a 10-point lead. And he hasn't played any footy, yet he'll have 3 at half-time.
They'll be very satisfied with his output and his team's output in the first half.
Coming in quickly, O'Brien. Speed. They need a mark here, the Lions. They're going to get it. Buick couldn't quite take it. Subin uses his body, getting into a better position. Siren sounds. So Mark Harvey has a little bit to think about for the Fremantle Dockers side as they trail the Brisbane Lions by 10 points at half-time. We'll take a break. Tony and Alistair to have a good look at what's taken so far.